Welcome to Health and Disease. We'll continue the continued part of the disease part, and in this let's look at the new disease which is called as a filariasis. There is one more term for the filariasis where it is also called as a elephantiasis. So let's come back to the part of filariasis. This disease filariasis is also named by one more name where we call it as a elephantiasis based on the symptom. Elephant leg like symptom is observed in the humans and hence the term elephantiasis. So filariasis is also termed as elephantiasis. Then which is the causative organism that is responsible for the disease filariasis or elephantiasis? So let's look at that cause first. So it is caused by this is mainly caused by a helminthic worm where we also call it as a nematoda worm. So it is caused by helminthic worm which belongs to nematoda. As already we have studied in our previous session regarding the part of Ascariasis. Ascaris lumbricoides is a helminthic worm which belongs to the phylum Ascalmanthus. The phylum Ascalmanthus is also said to be nemathelminthes and hence the worms which comes under this phylum, we call them as a nematodes or nematoda worms. So mainly it is a helminthic worm disease, a helminthic worm disease. Now what is the mode of transmission, how it is transmitted from one person to the other person? So mode of transmission, it is mainly transmitted through the female mosquito, mainly the female Culex mosquito. So it is spread through female Culex mosquito. Okay, now already we have came across malaria. Malaria is spread through female Anopheles mosquito. Then filaria or filariasis disease is spread through female Culex mosquito. Then we have one more type of mosquito where we call them as a Aedes mosquito that spreads dengue and chikungunya. So almost through the mosquito lot of disease can be spread, right? So that's why we have to prevent the multiplication of these mosquitoes. So that comes under the part of preventive measures. Now as it is spread through female Culex mosquito, when the female Culex mosquito bites humans, then ultimately the filarial worm is released into the bloodstream and it mainly infects the lymphatic system. Okay, so along with the blood circulatory system, nam body ಒಳಗಡೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಅದ where we call it as a lymphatic system, and when it enters into this lymphatic system it leads to infection of the lymphatic system and produces a lot of fluids. When this lot of fluids are produced in the body, then ultimately the fluid, as it has weight, it goes to lower part of the body, especially the legs. Along with that it goes to the genital organs also like the scrotum. Now when this fluid accumulates in the body, then it leads to swelling up of the leg where we call it as edema. Edema refers to swelling up of the organs. Now this swelling will be in such a way that the leg of the humans, it swells and appears or it becomes like the leg of an elephant, and based on this symptom the disease is also named as elephantiasis. This is based on the symptom. As already we have studied one disease where we call it as amoebiasis. Amoebiasis is also called as amoebic dysentery based on the symptoms only. Similarly, filariasis is a disease, it is named as elephantiasis based on the symptom. That means there are some diseases which are named based on the symptoms. Okay. Sometimes the disease might be asymptomatic initially, later on they will definitely show the symptoms. Okay, but here it is named as elephantiasis based on the symptoms only, right. So, it is due to the transmission of this nematoda worm by the Culex mosquito. Then let us look at the symptoms. Okay. Now, in the part of the symptoms, as this worm, which one? The helminthic worm, we call it as the filarial worm. So, this filarial worm, it mainly infects. Now, in this we also say it as the infective stage of the filaria is a microfilaria. So, here we also say it as microfilaria is the infective stage of a filariasis. It is the infective stage. As we have the sporozoite as the infective stage of plasmodium in malaria, similarly we have microfilaria which is the infective stage. So, somewhere this will be asked in the NEET, not in the theory part, which is the infective stage for plasmodium or malaria. Sporozoite is the infective stage. Which is the infective stage for filaria? It is a microfilaria. Okay. Now, here let us move on to the symptoms. So, the symptoms it includes mainly as it affects the lower limbs and genital. So, it affects the lower limbs, generally it means legs and genitalia, genital organs like testis along with the male reproductive system if it is a condition of the male. Then apart from this, chronic inflammation of organs. So, there might be chronic inflammation of organs over a period of time. It takes more time for getting infected. So, where they live for many years. So, there might be slow infection. So, suddenly there is no swelling, slowly as the lymph fluid starts secreting, as it goes on infecting, slowly the fluid gets accumulating. So, that is why it is not all of a sudden body will show symptom. So, any sort of disease there might be some preliminary symptoms where the body will show, and if we take the proper treatment at that time, the disease can be cured in its initial stage. Any disease, if it goes to the final stage, it becomes very difficult to recover back, because most of the damage when it does to the body, then recovering becomes a problematic issue, and hence any disease should not be neglected. It has to be taken proper care and treatment immediately. Suppose if we delay it, that means the organism is going to do more damage to the body organs or the cells. Okay. So, this is the next one, chronic inflammation. Year after year there will be slow infection to the lymphatic system. So, where they live for many years. When they live for many years, ultimately they will damage more to the body. Then abdominal swelling of lower limbs. So, here there might be the swelling of the lower limbs. Swelling of lower limbs, scrotum, and even the abdominal part of the humans. So, this is the major sign, swelling. Swelling refers to edema. So, swelling we also call it as edema. Edema of lower limbs is nothing but swelling of lower limbs. Scrotal sacs in case of the humans. You can just look at the picture of the NCERT which is given. Okay. So, there is edema of the lower limbs and there is swelling of the scrotum, and hence because of the swelling of the lower limbs, hence the name of the disease. Hence the disease is also named as elephantiasis. You can add that point. Based on the symptom, as there is swelling of the limbs or the legs appears like the leg of an elephant, hence the name elephantiasis. Okay, so add that point the last. Then what is the prevention measure? The preventive measure is avoid bite of the Culex mosquito, right? So, irrespective of Culex, whether it is a Culex mosquito, Anopheles mosquito or a Aedes mosquito bite has to be avoided to get rid of the diseases. Otherwise, sufferers are we only. So, let us not suffer. So, let us be healthy, let us avoid them, let us take all the precautionary measures. So, that part we are going to study it later. Okay. So, if the person is infected with the filaria, what is the treatment? Treatment is, when the limbs will swell, when the legs will swell, then ultimately lot of fluid is accumulated, the lymph fluid is accumulated. That fluid has to be removed, it cannot be treated with the injections or medicines. It has to be removed, that fluid has to be removed. Then the person should undergo surgery where the fluid is removed out. Okay. Then apart from that, to kill the pathogen, then ultimately we have to use certain antibiotics like penicillin, tetracycline, erythromycin, kanamycins, neomycins. So, lot of antibiotics are there. Through the antibiotics, the pathogen can be killed. Okay. So, this is regarding the part of elephantiasis. So, with these, let us move on to the last infectious disease, and the last infectious disease is ringworm. Now, the list of disease that you are going to study here, it includes all organisms. So, you have studied already the viral disease, bacterial disease, then helminthic disease, protozoan disease, now finally the fungal disease. So, we have the ringworm. So, ringworm is a fungal disease where it mainly infects the skin, the scalp. Okay. So, let us go to the cause here. It is caused by fungus. It is a fungal disease. So, it is caused by a fungus. There are different varieties of fungus which includes microsporum, then trichophyton and epidermophyton. So, they are the major causative organisms for the ringworm in the humans. Then what are these pathogens that causes the ringworm? It includes, the pathogens includes microsporum. Okay, so this is one variety of fungus that causes the disease. So, microsporum is there, then epidermophyton, and trichophyton. So, their names are most important, they will be asked for an objective type of question. Write an example of a pathogen that causes the ringworm disease. The name of the pathogen that causes the ringworm is microsporum, epidermophyton and trichophyton. This can be asked in the NEET part also. Ringworm is caused due to, then 4 options will be there. Out of that 4, any one amongst the 3 will be there. Remember, most of the examples, most of the disease will be directly from the NCERT, right? Okay. So, this is regarding the part of the causative organism as they are the fungus, right? Then How it is transmitted? So, mode of transmission. This might be due to the direct contact when we get exposed to the soil, or suppose if the person steps on the soil or if he sits on the soil which is infected with the fungus. So, that is why it might be through the soil. The soil should have this fungus. Okay, if you keep your hand or if anyone sleeps on it, then the fungus may get attached on the surface of the skin, on the epidermis of the skin. This is one. Through the soil, the contamination is very less, recorded is very less, but still it comes through the soil as it is present there. Then apart from the soil, how it can be contaminated? It can be contaminated through use of certain clothes. So, one is through clothes, towels, combs, etc. Okay, then how it can be spread? Through the clothes, towels and combs. Now, here clothes, if the person wears the clothes of an infected person, similarly with that of the towels infected and combs. So, how do you come to know that they are infected? Naಮಗೆ ಹೆಂಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗ್ತದ? So, based on that there is a story. Now, the story is there were two roommates. ಇಬ್ಬರು ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್ಸ್ ಇರ್ತಾರ, ರೂಮ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ ರೂಮ್ಮೇಟ್ಸ್. ನೀವು ಹೆಂಗೆ ಹಾಸ್ಟೆಲ್ದಾಗಿದ್ದಾಗ ಇಬ್ಬರು ಮೂರು ಜನ ಇರ್ತೀರಿ, ಆ ರೀತಿ ರೂಮ್ಮೇಟ್ಸ್ಗಳು. ಒಬ್ಬ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿ, he will be very shining person, looks very good, looks very neat. ಪ್ರತಿ ಸರ ಅವ ಕಾಲೇಜಿಗೆ ಬಂದಾಗ ಅವನ ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್ಸ್ ಕೇಳ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಾರ ಏನಂತಂತಂದ್ರೆ, ಸೊ ಯುವರ್ ಟೀಸ್ ಆರ್ ಸೋ ಶೈನಿಂಗ್, ಸೊ ವಿಚ್ ಪೇಸ್ಟ್ ಯು ಯೂಸ್? ನಿನ್ನ ಹಲ್ಲು ಇಷ್ಟು ಹೊಳ್ಯಾಕತ್ತಾವ, ನೀ ಯಾವ ಪೇಸ್ಟ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀಯ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಅವಂತಾನು ಬಾಬಾಸ್ ಪೇಸ್ಟ್ ಅಂತಂತಾನೆ. ನಿನ್ನ ಕೂದಲು ಇಷ್ಟು ಶೈನ್ ಅದಾವು, ಯಾವ ಶಾಂಪೂ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀಯ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಬಾಬಾ ಶಾಂಪೂ ಅಂತ ಕರೀತಾನೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಯು ವೇರ್ ವೆರಿ ನೀಟ್ ಕ್ಲೋತ್ಸ್, ನಿನ್ನ ಕ್ಲೋತ್ಸ್ ಭಾಳ ಚಲೋ ಅದಾವು, ಇವು ಯಾವ ಬಟ್ಟೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಬಾಬಾಸ್ ಕ್ಲೋತ್ಸ್. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಏನು ಕೇಳಿದ್ರು ಎಲ್ಲ ಬಾಬಾ. ಯಾವ ಕೊಂಬ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ? ಬಾಬಾಸ್ ಕೊಂಬ್. ಹೂ ಈಸ್ ಬಾಬಾ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೋ, ಹೀ ಈಸ್ ಮೈ ರೂಮ್ಮೇಟ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾನೆ ನಾವು. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅವೆಲ್ಲ ತನ್ನ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ತನ್ನ ರೂಮ್ಮೇಟ್ದು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿರ್ತಾನು. ನೀವೇನಾದರೂ ನಿಮ್ಮ ರೂಮ್ಮೇಟ್ದ ಟವಲ್ಲು, ಕ್ಲೋತ್ಸು, ಯಾಕಂದರೆ ಇದು ಭಾಳ ಸರ ಹಾಸ್ಟೆಲ್ನಾಗ ಆಗ್ತಿರ್ತೈತಿ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಯಾರ್ದೋ ಟವಲ್ ಅವನ್ನ ಮಲ್ಕೊಂಡಿರ್ತಾನೋ, ಅವ್ನ ಟವಲ್ ತೊಗೊಂಡು ನೀವು ಬಾತ್ರೂಮ್ಗೆ ಹೋಗಿ ಬರ್ತಿರ್ತೀರಿ. ಸೊ ಇಫ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ಯೂಸಿಂಗ್, ಸಪೋಸ್ ಇಫ್ ದ ಪರ್ಸನ್ ಈಸ್ ಇನ್ಫೆಕ್ಟೆಡ್, ಆ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿಗೆ ರಿಂಗ್ ವರ್ಮ್ ಇತ್ತಂದ್ರೆ ಮಾತ್ರ ನಿಮಗೆ ಬರ್ತದೆ, ಅದರ್ವೈಸ್ ಇಟ್ ವೋಂಟ್ ಬಿ ಸ್ಪ್ರೆಡ್ ಇನ್ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ವೇ. ಬಟ್ ವಿ ವಿಲ್ ನಾಟ್ ಕಮ್ ಟು ನೋ, ಯಾಕಂದರೆ ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ಡಿಸೀಸ್ ಇರುವಂಥದ್ದು ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಳಂಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಅದು ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಂಡಾಗ ಅದ್ರ ಅವೇರ್ನೆಸ್ ಇರ್ತೈತಿ, ಪ್ರಿಕಾಷನ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಇರ್ತಾವೆ. ಅದು ಹೇಳದೇ ಇದ್ದಾಗ ಏನಾಗ್ತಿರ್ತೈತಿ, ಕೆಲವೊಮ್ಮೆ ನೆಗ್ಲಿಜೆನ್ಸಿದಿಂದ ಇನ್ನೊಬ್ರಿಗೆ ಸ್ಪ್ರೆಡ್ ಆಗುವಂಥದ್ದು. ಸಪೋಸ್ ಇಫ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ಸಫರಿಂಗ್ ವಿತ್ ಕಫ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಕೋಲ್ಡ್, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಇನ್ನೊಬ್ಬ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಹತ್ರ ಬರೋ ಟೈಮ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಇಫ್ ಯು ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಮೇಂಟೈನ್ ದಟ್ ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್, ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ದೂರ ಇರಪ್ಪ ಅಂತಂದು ನೀವು ಹೇಳಿದರೆ ಅಂತಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಹಿ ವಿಲ್ ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ದಟ್ ಹಿ ಈಸ್ ಸಫರಿಂಗ್ ವಿತ್ ಕಫ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಕೋಲ್ಡ್. ಕೋವಿಡು ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಅದಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ಲೆಟ್ ಅಸ್ ಟೇಕ್ ಪ್ರಿಕಾಷನ್ ಅಂತ ಅನ್ನುವಂಥದ್ದು. ಓಕೆ, ಎವ್ರಿ ಕಫ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಕೋಲ್ಡ್ ಈಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ದ ಕೋವಿಡ್ ಸಿಚುವೇಶನ್. ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಕ್ಲೈಮೆಟಿಕ್ ಚೇಂಜಸ್ what is happening now, through that majority of them will suffer with health and disease. Okay, and this is regarding the part of the disease, how it can be spread. So that's why the transmission could be through the baba's clothes, baba's towel or baba's comb. Okay, then when these disease are spread from one person to another person, what are the symptoms? Symptom is almost there will be appearance of patches on the skin. Skin ಮೇಲ್ಗಡೆ ಪ್ಯಾಚಸ್ ಕಲಿತೆ ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಾವೆ. ಇನಿಷಿಯಲಿ ವೈಟ್ ಪ್ಯಾಚಸ್, ದೆನ್ ಇಟ್ ಮೇ ಟರ್ನ್ ಟು ರೆಡ್ ಪ್ಯಾಚ್, ದೆನ್ ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಇಚಿಂಗ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ, ಕೆರೆಸ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತದೆ. ಸೊ ಕೈ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು, ಓಕೆ, ಇನ್ ಬಿಟ್ವೀನ್ ದ ಫಿಂಗರ್ಸ್ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು, ಇನ್ ದ ಗ್ರಾಯಿನ್ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಇನ್ ಬಿಟ್ವೀನ್ ದ ಲೆಗ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಫೀಮರ್ ಬೋನ್, ದೆನ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಟೋಸ್, ಕಾಲ ಮಧ್ಯೆ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು. ಎಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಯ್ಶ್ಚರ್ ಕಂಟೆಂಟ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇರ್ತದಲ್ಲ, ಮಾಯ್ಶ್ಚರ್ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ಸ್ in multiplication of the fungus and growth of the fungus. As a result, the disease goes on spreading. So we have itching sensation. So itching ಅಂದರೆ ಕೆರೆಸ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತದ. ಓಕೆ, ದೆನ್ ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಫೆಲ್ಡ್ ವಿತ್ ದ ಲೆಜನ್ಸ್. ಅದು ಲೇಟರ್ ಸಿಂಪ್ಟಮ್. ಲೆಜನ್ಸ್ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಪಸ್ ಆಗಿ ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ಆಗ್ತಿರ್ತೈತಿ. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದಿಸ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಟು ಬಿ ಪ್ರಿವೆಂಟೆಡ್ ಇನಿಷಿಯಲಿ ಓನ್ಲಿ. ಅದು ಸ್ಕಾಲ್ಪ್ಸ್ ಒಳಗಡೆನೂ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತದೆ. ಕೋಂಬ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಆ ಫಂಗಸ್ ಸ್ಕಾಲ್ಪ್ ಇನ್ಫೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಗ್ತಿರ್ತೈತಿ. ಸ್ಕಾಲ್ಪ್ ಇನ್ಫೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಗಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ವೈಟ್ ಕಲರ್ ಪ್ಯಾಚಸ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಾವೆ. ಸಮ್ಟೈಮ್ಸ್ ದೇರ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಹೇರ್ ಫಾಲ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ. So that's why, so we have to use antifungal lotions to treat this fungus, to kill the fungus. Antifungal lotions and siktav. And along with that, if the condition is little bit more severe, then antibiotics are taken to treat the disease. Okay, so it can be treated completely, right? So let's look at the symptoms here. The symptoms of the disease, ringworm. The symptoms, it includes appearance of dry scaly lesions, appearance of dry scaly lesions. So it will be dry, appears like a scale, lesions filled with certain fluids. Okay, in skin, nails, nails and scalp. Skin ಮೇಲ್ಗಡೆ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು, ಆಲ್ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಟುವರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ದ ಚಿನ್ ರೀಜನ್, ಇಲ್ಲ ಚಿನ್ ರೀಜನ್ಗೂ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು. ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ಫೋಟೋಗ್ರಾಫ್ ಈಸ್ ಗಿವನ್ ಇನ್ ಯುವರ್ NCERT. ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಲುಕ್ ಓವರ್ ದ್ಯಾಟ್. ನೇಲ್ಸ್ ಉಗುರಿಗೆ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು. ಸ್ಕಾಲ್ಪ್, ಓಕೆ, ಸ್ಕಾಲ್ಪ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಹೆಡ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್, ಓಕೆ, ವೇರ್ ದ ರೂಟ್ ಹೇರ್ಸ್ ಡೆವಲಪ್, ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು. ಸೊ ಅಪಿಯರೆನ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಡ್ರೈ ಸ್ಕೇಲಿ ಲೇಜನ್ಸ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ಡ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಸ್ಕಿನ್, ನೇಲ್ಸ್ ಅಲಾಂಗ್ ವಿತ್ ದ ಸ್ಕಾಲ್ಪ್. ದೆನ್ lesions accompanied with intense itching. ಓಕೆ, ಈಚಿಂಗ್ ಸೆನ್ಸೇಷನ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ, ಕೆರೆಸ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತದೆ. ಅದರಿಂದ ಏನಾಗ್ತತಿ, ಸ್ಪ್ರೆಡ್ ಹಾಕೊಂತ ಹೋಗ್ತತಿ ಒಂದು ಪಾರ್ಟ್. ನೀವು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಈಚಿಂಗ್ ಸೆನ್ಸೇಷನ್, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಫ್ಲೂಯಿಡ್ಸ್, ಇಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಸಪೋಸ್ ಇಫ್ ದಿಸ್ ಹ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಕಮ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ಕಾಂಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ವಿತ್ ದಿಸ್ ಹ್ಯಾಂಡ್, ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಸ್ಪ್ರೆಡ್ ಇಯರ್. ಇಫ್ ಇಟ್ ಕಮ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ಕಾಂಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ವಿತ್ ದ ಆರ್ಮ್ಸ್, ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಸ್ಪ್ರೆಡ್ ಇಯರ್. ಈ ರೀತಿ ಬಾಡಿ ತುಂಬ ಸ್ಪ್ರೆಡ್ ಹಾಕೊಂತ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತದೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಲೆಷನ್ಸ್ ಅಕಂಪೈನ್ಡ್ ವಿತ್ ಇಂಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಈಚಿಂಗ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ದೇರ್. ನಾವು ಹಿಯರ್ heat and moisture. So heat and moisture helps the fungus to grow on the body. So we have heated body, moisture content, as there will be sweat, moisture content ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಸ್ಪ್ರೆಡ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತದೆ. So where we can observe this? So apart from the skin, nails and scalp. Okay, so ಇವಲ್ದನ ಇದು almost ಎಲ್ಲಾಗ್ಬೋದು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ it might be in the groins also. Okay, so here mainly the organs affected will be in the groin also. Along with this we can take groins. Groins means femur bone or thigh bone. Okay, in between the thigh bone there might be growth of the fungus due to accumulation of the moisture. So this is regarding the part of the ringworm disease. Ringworm disease can be treated completely. So that's why we call this disease as a communicable disease, or we also call them as a what? Infectious disease. But these are cured completely, 100%, right? So this completes the part of the infectious disease. Okay, then with these all different sorts of disease, we have a heading called as a prevention and control of a infectious disease. So in the prevention and control of the infectious disease, so as I have told you, prevention is better than treatment, and as a result preventive measures are most important. So based on this there is a paragraph which is given in our text. So we are discussing that. Based on that you can make the points there. How to prevent? Now we have studied all different sorts of infectious disease, starting from the common cold, which is spread through rhinovirus. Then we came across pneumonia, which is mainly caused by Streptococcus pneumonia, Haemophilus influenza. Third one is typhoid, which is caused by a bacteria, Salmonella typhi. Fourth one is malaria, which is caused by a Plasmodium parasite, where we come across a Plasmodium vivax, Plasmodium ovale, Plasmodium malariae, Plasmodium falciparum, out of which Plasmodium falciparum is fatal. Then we came across amoebiasis, which is caused by a protozoan parasite, Entamoeba histolytica. Then ascariasis is caused by a helminthic worm, Ascaris lumbricoides. Then filariasis is caused by a helminthic worm, and its name is Wucheria bancrofti and Wucheria malayi. Now we have to mention that name, so write that name. The filarial worm name, filariasis, is caused by a helminthic worm and its name is, so write down its name there only. So Wucheria bancrofti, okay, in the part of the causative agent, helminthic worm disease, but it has a specific name, Wucheria bancrofti ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಇನ್ನೊಂದು, the other one is Wucheria malayi. So Wucheria bancrofti and Wucheria malayi, these are the two species which causes filariasis. Its name will be asked, it is important. So write down there only, in the causative agent of filariasis. So filariasis is a helminthic worm which is caused by a filarial worm. Adu filarial worm antanu common term, but its scientific name is Wucheria bancrofti and Wucheria malayi, ಎರಡು species ಇವು. Okay, then ringworm, it is a fungal disease. That means we came across a viral disease, bacterial disease, then protozoan disease, helminthic disease, fungal disease. 5 ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಟೈಪ್ ಇರುವಂಥ ಡಿಸೀಸ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ನಾವು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಇಫ್ ವಿ ಮೇಕ್ ದ ಲಿಸ್ಟ್, ನಾವು ಮಾಡ್ಕೊತ ಹೋದ್ವಿ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಇನ್ನೂ ಭಾಳಷ್ಟು ಅದಾವೆ. ಟ್ಯೂಬರ್ಕ್ಯುಲೋಸಿಸ್ ಈಸ್ ದೇರ್, ಲೆಪ್ರೋಸಿ ಈಸ್ ದೇರ್, ಉಪಿಂಗ್ ಕಫ್ ಈಸ್ ದೇರ್, ಓಕೆ, ಪರ್ಟೂಸಿಸ್ ಈಸ್ ದೇರ್. ಸೊ ಲಾಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಡಿಸೀಸ್ ಆರ್ ದೇರ್ ವೇರ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಇಟ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಮೆಡಿಕಲ್ ಸೈನ್ಸ್. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಕಾಸೇಟಿವ್ ಆರ್ಗನಿಸಮ್ಸ್, which organ is affected, which cells are damaged in the body, so how to treat it, entire detailed aspect is in the next year of your medical science when you join the medical courses. Okay, now here we are bothered about prevention and control of the disease. ಯಾವುದೇ ಡಿಸೀಸ್ ಇರಲಿ, ಇಲ್ಲಿವರೆಗೆ ನಾವು ಡಿಸ್ಕಷನ್ ಏನು ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ, ಪ್ರಿವೆನ್ಷನ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ಮೆಜರ್. ಸೊ ಫಸ್ಟ್, ಅವಾಯ್ಡ್ ಇಂಟೇಕ್ ಆಫ್ ಅ ಕಂಟ್ಯಾಮಿನೇಟೆಡ್ ಫುಡ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ವಾಟರ್. ದಿಸ್ ಈಸ್ ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್. Okay, avoid contaminated food and water. So always have the food which is free from contamination, that means the boiled or cooked food, then clean water. Then next one, personal hygiene is most important, because if we won't maintain hygiene, then we get the disease. Then public hygiene is also important. Public hygiene ಅಂದರೆ ನಾವು ಎಲ್ಲೇ ಪಬ್ಲಿಕ್ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ಹೋದಾಗ, ಯಾವುದೋ ಒಂದು ಶಾಪ್ಗೆ ಹೋಗಿರ್ತೀವಿ, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ಲಾಸ್ಟಿಕ್ಕೋ ಪೇಪರ್ ಏನೋ ತೊಗೊಂಡಿರ್ತೀವಿ, ಅದು ತೊಗೊಂಡಾಗ ಅದನ್ನು ನಾವು ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಬೇಕಾದಲ್ಲೇ ಬಿಸಾಡಬಾರ್ದು. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಇನ್ ಎ ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ ವೇ. ಸೊ ಡಿಸ್ಪೋಸಲ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಮ್ಯಾಟರ್ಸ್, ಲೈಕ್ ಅವರ್ ಹೌಸ್ ಹೋಲ್ಡ್ ವೇಸ್ಟ್. ಸೊ ಹೌಸ್ ಹೋಲ್ಡ್ ವೇಸ್ಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಟು ಬಿ ಡಿಸ್ಪೋಸ್ಡ್. ಡಿಸ್ಪೋಸಿಂಗ್ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾಕ್ತೀವಿ ಅಂತನ್ನುವಂಥದ್ದು. ಸೊ ದ ಮುನ್ಸಿಪಾಲಿಟಿ ವೆಹಿಕಲ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಕಮಿಂಗ್, ಇಫ್ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಡಿಸ್ಪೋಸಿಂಗ್ ದೇರ್, ಸೊ ದೇ ವಿಲ್ ಡಿಸ್ಪೋಸ್ ಇನ್ ಎ ಸೇಫರ್ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್. ನಾವು ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಮನೆ ಸುತ್ತಮುತ್ತಲು ಎಲ್ಲಾದರೂ ಕಸ ಚೆಲ್ಲಾಕತ್ತಿದ್ದೀವಿ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಅದರಿಂದ ಡಿಸೀಸ್ ನಮಗೆ ಬರ್ತದೆ, ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮೈಕ್ರೋ ಆರ್ಗನಿಸಮ್ಸ್ ಮಲ್ಟಿಪ್ಲೈ ಆಗ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಚಾನ್ಸ್ ಸಿಗ್ತದೆ. ಸೊ ವೆಜಿಟೇಬಲ್ಸ್ ವೇಸ್ಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ದೇರ್, fruit waste will be there. So all the kitchen waste will lead to growth of lot of microorganisms or pathogens, okay, which might be infectious to us. Okay, then keep our surrounding clean. Do not allow stagnation of water in front of your home. If there is stagnation of water, there is growth of the mosquito. So to control the mosquitoes, suppose if there is a pond, ಮನೆ ಮುಂದಗಡೆ ಒಂದು ಸಣ್ಣ ಪಾಂಡ್ ಇರ್ಬೋದು ಅಥವಾ ಕೆರೆ ಇರ್ಬೋದು. ಕೆರೆ ಇತ್ತಂದ್ರೆ ಕೆರೆ ನೀರು ನೀವು ಯಾವಾಗ ಖಾಲಿ ಮಾಡೋರು, ಅದು ಆಗಂಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಅದಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ಅಂಥ ಕೆರೆ ಒಳಗಡೆ, ಸೊ ಇನ್ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ponds there is a fish which is released, which feeds on the larvae of the mosquito, and the name of that fish is a Gambusia fish. There is a fish named as a Gambusia fish. This fish will control the larvae, because mosquitoes will lay the eggs in the water, the larvae will come out, those larvae are eaten up by Gambusia fish. ಅಂತ ಪಾಂಡ್ಸ್ ಅದು ಏನಾರ ಇತ್ತಂದ್ರೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ Gambusia fish ನಾವು ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ we can control the population of the mosquitoes, so that we can avoid the disease like malaria and filaria. Okay, Then apart from this, use of mosquito nets, ಯೂಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಮಾಸ್ಕಿಟೋ ರಿಪೆಲೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಗುಡ್ ನೈಟ್ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಆಲ್ ಔಟ್ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಯಾವುದೋ ಒಂದು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡುವಂಥದ್ದು. ಬಟ್ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ಫ್ಯೂಮ್ಸ್ ಸಮ್ಟೈಮ್ಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಮೇ ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟ್ ಅಲರ್ಜಿ. ಅದರಿಂದ ಕೆಲವೊಬ್ಬರಿಗೆ ಅಲರ್ಜಿನೂ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು. ಯಾವುದೋ ಮಾಸ್ಕಿಟೋ ಕಾಯಿಲಿಂದ ಇರ್ಬೋದು ಅಥವಾ ಮಾಸ್ಕಿಟೋ ಲಿಕ್ವಿಡೇಟರ್ದಿಂದ ಇರ್ಬೋದು. ಆ ರೀತಿ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇತ್ತಂದರೆ ಬೆಟರ್ ಟು ಗೋ ವಿತ್ ದ ಮಾಸ್ಕಿಟೋ ನೆಟ್ಸ್, ರೈಟ್? ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಆಲ್ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ರೇನಿ ಸೀಸನ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ವಿಂಟರ್ ಸೀಸನ್ ಅಂತ ಬಂದಾಗ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಸೀಸನ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ ನಾವು. ಯಾಕೆ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಸೀಸನ್ನ? ಭಾಳಷ್ಟು ಜನ ಡಿಸೀಸ್ ಬರುವಂಥದ್ದು. ಯಾಕಂತಂದರೆ ವೆನ್ ಲಾಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಮಾಯ್ಚರ್ ಈಸ್ ಅವೈಲೇಬಲ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಎನ್ವಿರಾನ್ಮೆಂಟ್, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ಫೇವರೇಬಲ್ ಎನ್ವಿರಾನ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಗ್ರೋತ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಪ್ಯಾಥೋಜನ್ಸ್. ಪ್ಯಾಥೋಜನ್ ಮಲ್ಟಿಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ಗೋಸ್ಕರನ ಫೇವರೇಬಲ್ ಎನ್ವಿರಾನ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅದ ಯಾವುದು? ರೇನಿ ಸೀಸನ್. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ವಿಂಟರ್ ಸೀಸನ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ಮಲ್ಟಿಪ್ಲೈ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಾವೆ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಇನ್ ದಿಸ್ ವೇ ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಸ್ಪ್ರೆಡಿಂಗ್, ರೈಟ್? ಸೊ ಆಲ್ ದ ಪ್ರಿಕಾಷನ್ ಮೇಜರ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಟು ಬಿ ಟೇಕನ್. ದೆನ್ ವ್ಯಾಕ್ಸಿನೇಷನ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಇಮ್ಯುನೈಸೇಷನ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಟು ಬಿ ಡನ್. So almost there is a disease which is called as a smallpox. Smallpox has been totally eradicated from our country. Smallpox has been totally eradicated. Complete eradication agada due to vaccination along with the immunization. Then polio, it is at the edge of eradication. Almost pulse polio program will be conducted throughout India, right? Almost in the month of January, February. So as the program is conducted mainly to kill the polio virus, and almost it is at the edge of eradication. Almost eradicate kuda ಆಗಿರುವಂಥದ್ದು. So polio. So we have to go with the vaccination and immunization in such a way that we should not get any sort of diseases. So if we maintain all these parts, then definitely we can prevent and control lot of disease which infects our body, right? So this is regarding the part of the prevention and control. So that can be asked for a short notes. So whatever I have told, just refer the NCERT, make the points, you will get the answer. Okay, so it is everything is general knowledge and common sense point only. Okay, so how we should maintain our health, so that is the part of prevention and control. So with this, let's end up the class today and we'll continue the further parts in the coming class. Thank you.